Alright guys, what's good? Another reaction video today. Today we are reacting to Yukisa Art being a anime fan in Africa. It's not proper grammar, but you know, it works, right? Probably should capitalize that as well, but that doesn't matter. I liked one of his other videos that I seen off camera, probably some months ago actually. I wanted to see like when that was posted, but it was about him actually growing up or living in rural Africa. One of the main questions I have like for the viewers is the fact, at least like for those that maybe have grown up in the continent, what were probably, besides like the mainstream anime like Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, etc., One Piece, what was like an anime perhaps that was actually very popular there that wasn't necessarily popular in the US or Europe or Latin America? Because like from the top of my head, I can think of a lot of anime like that. Like for example, Doraemon like was not popular in the US whatsoever, or Shin-chan. Shin-chan, honestly, it was not even like the actual show. Like it was like voiceovers or something like that for one. And then another one that also comes to mind is Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya is like probably like the biggest example I can think of like when it comes to this, because like Saint Seiya was like extremely popular in Latin America or Europe. Like it had like no presence in the US, like I guess unless you were part of that community, right? And then another one, of course, like again, like with Latin America and Europe, they also had Captain Tsubasa that was really popular. And I guess Asia, you know, that was really popular there as well, because a lot of people in Asia play soccer or football, whatever they call it. Yeah, anyway, I'm very interested to see like his insight here, because like there's also another interesting thing too to think about this, because it's like, you know, especially with Black people, bro, I'm not gonna lie, people love anime, but like there was almost a certain stigma to like the people that watch anime. But for the most part, everyone always watched Dragon Ball. Like they all like Dragon Ball. They all like you know, when Toonami was like first kind of getting popping like the early 2000s, they watched like Zatch Bell, you know, like stuff like that. Anything outside of that, it was very niche. And the people that were really into like the anime, like the romance anime and stuff like that, that weren't girls and stuff like that, they had a certain stigma. But hey, anime is mainstream now. Apparently it's like one of the most popular forms of media. So I'm very curious. Let's see.
I live in Africa, and growing up watching anime was very uncommon. Even more uncommon than it was.
Oh yeah, that's kind of why I want to watch this video, because like, bro,
as a fan was really different. Growing up, we didn't have Netflix or Crunchyroll. So
see, but look though, we didn't have that either though. We didn't have that either in the early 2000s. Like we had Toonami. The crazy thing about it is too, when it comes to like manga, even that was even harder for like some people to get. But like for the most part, I feel like with anime, it was a much different time. Like especially even kind of like that transition from the early 2000s to the early 2010s. In the early 2010s, we were still able to watch like anime on YouTube, yo. It was so easy to like find movies, so easy to find anime. I wouldn't say it's easy, but like that was a whole nother experience in itself. You had to hope and pray that there was a part 3 before part 4 or something like that.
Longest time, the only way to watch anime was on one designated channel. For example, my first
oh, it was like okay.
Just like most people,
so it was on TV too.
Dragon Ball Z. It would come on every weekday on a channel called SABC2. So that's like 5.
What is it called?
Dragon Ball Z. It would come on every weekday on a channel called SABC2.
SABC2. Okay. I'm not too sure what country he's from. I honestly think he did say it in that one video I brought up earlier, but I honestly forgot. I think he said South Africa, right? So one thing I kind of wondered though too is, was it like Toonami, bro? Or was it like, was that 4Kids? Because like 4Kids was also like another channel or another station where people were able to watch anime. But like the thing is, they censored so much, like especially if you watched Dragon Ball, you watched One Piece on there. They censored a lot on there, and it definitely was not the same experience as like when you were watching it like on Toonami. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious if you got like the true experience. Another thing too is the voice actors were also different. But I wonder, because he is in an African country, another thing I was wondering too, and assuming he lived in South Africa because it's an English or multilingual country, but the most popular one being English, of course. I wonder if it was the dub. Was it in English? Was it in Kosa, or like what was it in?
No reruns. Also, some episodes would just get skipped, or a new show would randomly.
And then another thing too, like bro, I just thought about this. Another thing too is they don't even do it anymore. Like I kind of hate the fact that they don't even do it anymore, but it's whatever. But like back in those times, like in the 90s, early 2000s, when you would watch like anime like in different languages, like with different dubs, they have different songs like for the different people consuming it, obviously, because like they have different tastes. A good example I can really give in terms of this is of course Dragon Ball Z, and then also Yu Yu Hakusho was like the biggest one for me when it came to this. Like later on when I watched Yu Yu Hakusho and I wanted to like practice languages and stuff like that, Yu Yu Hakusho literally has low-key one of the most slept on openings. It's the same opening, but like bro, the Brazilian Portuguese version is like, it's S tier. Like so many people don't even know about it.
invested in would not show on for months. But
Like that's the definitive version of that opening right there. That and the Japanese one.
ad breaks that would always play right before the best part, and getting traumatized by the next time on Dragon Ball Z. Like, y'all don't understand the pain of waiting a whole day, rushing back home after school just to be left on a diabolical
No, for real though.
900.
For real though. And the problem with Toonami was too, especially if you were watching Naruto, there was an era where you would be waiting that whole week and it would be a rerun, or it would be like a flashback episode too. That was pain. And sometimes it wasn't even just 1 week either. You wait the next week, another rerun, 3 weeks, another rerun. Like I was tight too when Toonami got off the air, like, cause there was no way for me to watch Naruto. Like I was tight.
What do you mean next time, huh? You will stay here and give me exactly what I want. Growing up, not everyone was able to watch DBZ because their African parents would say it was evil and would baptize them via leather.
Oh yeah, one of those parents.
But that never happened.
Nah, not gonna lie, I did know some people with parents like that, bro.
Dragon
Like,
Ball was actually accepted. Like, I didn't even get teased for it, and there were actually kids to speak about it.
nah, that's what I was saying though. Like everyone watches Dragon Ball. Everyone watches Dragon Ball. It's only when you start getting deep into it where a lot of people start to like think certain things. Like
Some kids would draw and print out DBZ fan art and put it in their files, and whoever had the sickest...
the funny thing is too, now it's been like some years and like Super is over for now and Daima. I kind of wonder why Dragon Ball though? Why was Dragon Ball the #1 anime for everyone? Maybe it's just because it was easy to watch. I think that's probably it. Like it could appeal to so many people. That's probably why. When you think about the other stuff, like so many other anime, I'm not gonna have so many like better stories, so much better plot twists, so much better themes. But at the end of the day, I guess like it's a good barrier to entry, I suppose.
Collection was always the coolest in the group. Some people would actually sell their prints and actually make money off of it. And not gonna lie, I was super jealous of these kids because I never had a file like that. Fast forward into senior primary school, and all of a sudden watching anime becomes labeled as childish, and whoever is found watching consuming it would get laughed at and bullied. Who had
Interesting.
their whole identity during junior primary became labeled the nerds and weirdos, with the smarter ones going into hiding. And not gonna lie, this is when I began losing all interest in anime, because I didn't want any of the heat the anime kids got.
Honestly, I never got that. I never got that at all. Like it was like for kids. I got that it was like weird, quote unquote, but like not that it was for kids, because like it's pretty obviously, especially for the people that watch Dragon Ball, like it's obviously not for kids, bro.
Junior ass shows, which is so
Like
wrong.
the reason why people like that show back then was because like it has something that a lot of the other animated shows didn't have.
But childish, or just watching some freaky +18 stuff. Now
Unless you watched it on for kids anyway.
anime fan in such an environment. It all started when I was at a friend's place. This friend was really into anime and wanted to get me into anime, so he put on the first 4 episodes.
Wait, what is
Tokyo
this?
Ghoul, and I
To-
was hooked.
Alright guys. So I'm not gonna lie, I never watched Tokyo Ghoul. Best believe I'm gonna do some reactions on that. I'm gonna do some reactions on Tokyo Ghoul eventually.
I would
It's been too many years. The only reason why I haven't watched it is because so many people said the second season was trash.
Because without bro, I might have never gotten into anime. This would carry on and I would go on to binge all the popular anime at the time, and because so few people watched anime, it felt like I was part of the secret community that no one knew of. So whenever I would end up meeting another anime fan, we'd instantly get along. Because meeting someone else who also had this nerdy interest was so rare that it was a massive deal. To this day, I still remember all of the people I met during that time. On a different topic, because of how expensive internet was at the time, if you wanted to watch anime, you either had to buy a CD from these very shady street vendors that we would just call CD men. They would always hang around.
Oh, it's just bootleg.
Always get chased
Okay.
away, or
So personally, I never got physical. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. In the early 2000s, you were able to get like certain anime on DVD. Again, it wasn't that popular, so it was either going to be like Dragon Ball or like everything else that you just saw on Toonami, honestly, like the movies and stuff like that. Like you get it from Walmart or whatever, but never had to get it bootleg though. I feel like honestly, like a lot of people that did bootleg movies didn't know what that was, or they just didn't have that option. Like it just, nah.
episodes at your school's computer lab, internet cafe, or library, which all besides the computer lab had the slowest internet imaginable. I'm talking 7 hours to download a 1.2 gigabyte file. Something I have to mention is that piracy
7 hours is crazy.
way over here, because services like Crunchyroll had us paying the same rate as Americans.
Oh, that's tough. That's actually crazy. They had them paying the same. Wow. Wow.
which was just way too expensive as a monthly rate. And add on top of that,
That's actually kind of diabolical.
internet costs. And yeah, come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. By the way, if any company is watching, piracy is bad. Don't do it. People would download episodes, put it on a USB, and pass it around like it was a vape. It was awesome. For some reason, there'd always be that one kid that had all the episodes of any show you'd want to watch on a fat hard drive. They were low-key treated like a king and was everyone's plug for literally every show. Because
Nah, that's insane.
Kind of new. Sometimes you wouldn't find the episode on any websites and would have to watch it on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh my word! The
Oh yeah.
real anime OGs will know.
Oh yeah. I was just saying. Yeah, part 1, part 2, part 3.
Seeing this tiny little
Missing part 4. Then you got part 5.
Not only that, they would cut it up in,
And then it disappears like the next week.
get copyrighted, and
You gotta go to a different channel to try to find it. That channel disappears. You kind of want to run it back so you can watch it with your cousins or something. The channel's gone now, bruh.
or get copyrighted, and you'd have to give up on the episode because of it. Like, we were
Yeah.
really in the trenches.
No, for real, for real.
Super common at the time was anime merch. And
That's actually, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually why I, like, even after Toonami stopped, I didn't watch anime like for a good minute, because like when I would try to watch it on YouTube, bro, it was like there was some things that were kind of easy, but for the most part, like especially if it was like the big ones like Naruto, another thing that was difficult for me was kind of trying to transition to like watching it subbed. Obviously I watch most of my anime now subbed, but like back then, like nah, like I could not do it. So
super expensive and super limited. Even finding these things was so rare at the time. I remember when I found a Naruto manga in the library, and my mind was absolutely blown because I didn't believe we had those in Africa. Turns out we did, but for the longest time, all you could find was Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Bleach. If you wanted anything from a show that wasn't these three, get ready to pay that fat.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like even when it came to the DVDs, like back then, like before Fern even existed, like if you wanted to get the DVDs of like other anime that like was not like the big three or like something like that, like it just was not there, bro. It just wasn't there. And honestly, I find it funny he didn't touch, maybe he will later on, but he didn't touch on the fact that it was actually like even more challenging to get manga, bro. The way how it worked, apparently either you got like those shonen collection books or whatever, I forget what they're called in Japanese, but because they actually still sell those in Japan apparently, just like at the convenience stores or something like that. But other than that, you would have to kind of rely on some things that you saw online. Like you had to rely on like forums essentially, like with screenshots. And then also a lot of the manga that you would get is fan translated, which honestly, if you subscribe to Crunchyroll, like at least for like the past 10 years, you would know like in the past, that's actually how it was. Even like the anime, it's fan subbed, but like the manga, sometimes you just like did not have like the accurate translations like whatsoever. Especially if you're like into like JoJo's or something like that, you probably want to start learning Japanese if you want to watch it the way it's intended.
Almost impossible to support your favorite shows unless you have the pockets to do so. To this day, there's still very little merch distribution companies in Africa because the market is too small, which I get, but it genuinely feels like highway robbery knowing I'm paying double or triple of the original price just to support my favorite show.
Nah, for real. It's actually, yeah.
Movies in the cinemas and see people
yeah
around it.
Yeah, it's actually kind of mind-blowing. Like conventions and stuff now, like people going, wait, I think that conventions always existed, but like the people that will go to those conventions had a certain stigma once again. But like now it's like completely reversed. Like it's actually kind of crazy. Although some of those stigmas still do exist. I'm not gonna hold you.
JJK, Solo Leveling, AOT, Free Run, My Beloved. Anime is no longer that tiny niche underground thing anymore, which kind of makes me salty because these newer gen kids do not know how good they have it.
Nah, not just that, but like honestly, it's not even just that, but it's also because that's also affected the way how anime is also produced now. Like a lot of people also that just started watching anime, they don't realize, bro, oh my gosh, they don't realize like how much filler we had to sit through when it came to like a lot of the popular shows. A lot of the shows right now that are still peak like 10 years later. We literally had to sit through so many episodes where they just drag everything out. Like literally everything was One Piece essentially. Everything was One Piece. But now most anime that's popping off right now is pretty much over now. Like it only lasts like maybe like 13 episodes a season or something like that. Back then though, nah, it would be like forever. Like those shows were run forever.
The anime community in Africa is still not as huge as the West, but it's definitely not nothing to scoff at. We host huge cons all across Africa, and a lot of the
Oh, okay. Cape Town, yeah. He does live in South Africa then.
like last year, I even got to meet Joey the Anime Man and Aki Dearest in my local comic. And if you told me a few years ago that
They went to South Africa?
I think you'd be lying. The African anime community is still growing and there's still a lot of sore spots, but it is very nice to see that anime is finally being normalized over here. And if there's any Africans that also has any stories of them being an anime fan and finding it difficult to adjust and being called a nerd and Kuna and whatever, comment it below. I'll be reading everything.
There's a lot of those. There's definitely a lot of those.
I'll be attending Comic-Con Cape Town on the Friday and on the Saturday. The dates will be on screen. So follow my Instagram where I'll be posting a lot of updates and all of that. I'll also be doing a vlog from...
Hey, support Lukisa art W video like last time. But yeah guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. I'm gonna move on to probably a new game I'm gonna play. So if you guys want to support that, feel free to subscribe to the gaming channel. And of course, if you guys want to see the regular stuff, go to the main channel.